Welcome to Modelz Talk. Let's talk about it.
Yes. Get in here, y'all. This is your girl, Zaharraa Geyhanna with Modelz Talk. Welcome. Look, I got something special going on tonight. I got Mr. Mike Jones, and he is a St. Louis born, bred, and country-fed brother. And he is my homeboy. And yes, when I say we are both from the same town, and we know what it's like to get down. This is what I'm talking about.
Yes,
absolutely. Introduce yourself, Mike, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Mike Jones. I am a fashion coordinator and runway coach. I train models all over. I work for Fashion Week. So basically, that's what I do is Fashion Week. And every now and then, I do a show in Dallas or Houston or whatever for someone that hires me to come in and train their models and put their show together. So that's what I do. And most times, I don't do it in St. Louis. And they be like, man, where you been? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. I do this for a living. I don't work at McDonald's part-time. This is where I make a living. So
I know that's right. Well, you got something special coming up, and that's the St. Louis August, my brother, Fashion Week.
Yeah. Well, it's not Fashion Week. What it is April.
Fashion Day.
I'm doing a fashion show for the St. Louis August, and we're doing it for a lot of the representatives in St. Louis. The St. Louis August has been around for over 100 years, and it's a great newspaper for Black St. Louis. It's an urban paper. So therefore, I think it's an awesome paper because it gives urban people a chance to express themselves, which a lot of times in our posts or whatever, we don't get a chance to do that. Right. So I just love the St. Louis Argus newspaper, and this is their 100th anniversary. So they decided to do a fashion show, and they want to do one every year. And so what we do is every month, I pick a model of the month, a female, a male, and a child. And so we go 12 months. And now we're going to have Model of the Year. So that's what this show is going to be about, the Model of the Year.
Fabulous. How does the sister get in there? I'm ready to work. I need to come home to work.
You need to get in there because there's cash prizes and all kinds of stuff. I said, look at her. Let me get back in modeling. Let me get some money.
Exactly. Well, that's wonderful. So when you are doing fashion coordinating and training, what do you think is the most important thing for a model to know?
I think that a lot of these people that call themselves models,
call them out.
They just do a lot of church basement stuff. And I just think, it's nothing wrong with local shows and all the twisting and the turning and the snapping and the popping. That's cool, but that's not where I'm at. So if you come to a show I'm trying to do or something I'm doing, I change that whole, the whole dynamic. No, we can't not do that, and I think, as a people, I think, I hate to say it, but Black people think that they can just create and recreate something. Modeling has been around for years. You can't come and recreate it with, Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I mean, do that. But let me stay professional and keep making my money.
Exactly. I think there's no decorum left,
No.
I think that I'm from the Gypsy Rose era. You give them a little bit and you take a little bit back. And you give them a little bit and you take a little bit back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't show all the natural goodies. You just don't. There's no need to.
When you live in a small city like St. Louis, like I do, I thank God that he blessed me to be able to get out of here and be able to travel and do what I do.
I thank God for you.
Because otherwise, girl, I would have been lost because once I had reached certain levels in modeling, I was done and I wanted to do something different. I'm like, where do I go from here? I'm getting too old. I'm not going to be going to runways and trying to try out to model at 50 years old. No, I'm not going to do that. So those that do that, that's fine. All I'm saying is I like my lane. I stay in my lane. And my lane is training and coaching.
Okay, so as a trainer, what do you bring to the table?
What do you mean, my resume, or what do you?
Basic resume stuff.
Well, as a trainer, I have been for 20 years. I was a runway coach. And then before that, I was the S Curl man on the S Curl box. And then after that, I traveled with Ebony Fashion for 3 years. And after that, I went on tour with Mr. Hamilton. And then I started modeling for Cork and I. And
Oh,
then, yes, and
I
then
know
I decided,
Coconut.
yes, then Carl Kanai, and then Perry Ellis. So I did
Of
quite a
course.
few big, huge shows before decided to stop modeling. I was 32 when I decided to stop modeling.
Okay, sounds good. When I was there as a child, one of the things I did when I was coming up, and I started in charm school at Sears on Natural Bridge. Okay, I started in charm school, and I did the catalogs. I was a catalog
Okay.
kid. I was the only black girl in there. Okay,
Okay.
okay, I was on the mini bike. And then my mom stopped. And she didn't want to do all of that. You know, she thought she had her a bona fide tomboy, and wound up she had a girly girl that could be a tomboy. Okay, so I played knockout. I played baseball, and I could do it in stilettos, baby.
Okay. But
Yes,
when you come
sir.
from a small city like St. Louis, these people are, people are they're for the underdog. So
Hmm.
they're like, because they feel like they will never reach certain levels, then
Hmm.
they are very against people who have reached those levels.
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, they look for, like, they have fashion shows here, and they would never ask me to work with them because they don't feel like we're on the same page. You know what I'm
No.
saying? They want
There's
to
still
snap,
a lot
pop,
of
and lock
racism
and
and
drop it
prejudice
like it's
in
hot,
St.
and I'm not into none of that.
There's still a lot of racism and prejudice in St. Louis.
Well,
There
that's
is.
not the problem in the modeling industry, at least. That's not the
In there
problem.
in the industry there.
No, it's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is people want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it.
Ah.
And it's like this. You cannot bring all that dropping it like it's hot to a professional runway stage. You cannot do that. But you teach these kids that, and they grow up thinking that's modeling. And that
Mhm.
is not modeling. And you lead them the wrong way. And then when they get turned down by someone who is really a fashion leader, oh my God, they hate me. They don't like me. What?
Mhm.
You don't
Mhm.
have the skills to do what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
And I've told so many people that everybody's not a model. Just because you
Absolutely. Just because you
pretty,
say you're a model, don't
or
make
you
you a model.
pretty or something like that, everybody always said I was pretty, I should be a model. Well, that's not the truth.
Mhm.
Because I've seen some of the ugliest models in the world.
Mhm.
Makeup can make it look like anything.
Mhm.
So please believe it's not about looks. Stop thinking that. That's just not true.
Well, I think the mindset, is just because you're on Instagram and you got a following, for instance.
Well, that's
Okay.
for now. Yeah,
It
that's
does
what's
not
going on
transition
now.
to the runway. Just because you can climb a pole, and nothing against our sisters and brothers that do exotic dancing. I have nothing against it.
Me
But the
either.
fact is, you can't water down our industry, and just because you have a following there, don't mean it's going to translate over into the industry, into the fashion industry.
And that's all I be trying to say is that I'm not mad at anybody for doing what they do. Do what y'all do. You know, just know that I'm going to do what I do. I don't do nothing but this. So I don't know anything but this. I've been doing this my whole life. So I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I'm so glad that God put me in a position to where I can get out of St. Louis, travel, and do what I do and make a living. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because if I had to stay here and depend on here, I wouldn't survive. They even have award shows, girl, and they be talking about model of the year, and the model of the year be 5'2".
Oh!
I'm like, what the
Woo!
hell?
Well, I mean,
You
you
know,
could have a petite model of the year, okay?
girl,
A
stop
but
playing with me.
you can.
No, you
If
can't.
we
You
got to be more
cannot. That's what you
inclusive,
cannot
Mike.
do.
We got to be more inclusive.
Well, I don't mind being inclusive, but let's be real.
Yeah, well, definitely that.
Okay, how you gonna be model of the year when no runway is gonna invite you? They're not going to do that. You
True.
know. Now, I have known certain people like Diva Divana and stuff like that were smaller, petite models that did get out there and get to do fashion week and stuff like that, and that's amazing. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But and she's doing great in her training and her stuff that she's doing. She's traveling the world, and that's awesome. I'm so proud of Diva Divana. and she came from a little girl modeling and came up and became who she is, and that's a grand thing. We have another little girl named Kalai West. She is she is a diva for real, and she's the petite model.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's several petite models out there that are doing their thing. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying that they would never become a supermodel,
Mm-hmm.
if you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand.
So that's all I'm saying is these models that are small like that, and that's fine for you to model. That's great. So it's for a designer that wants to hire you, but most designers I know make their stuff for longer models,
Mm-hmm.
real taller models. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is, and slimmer models.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with you doing what you do, but know that there is a guideline to everything.
But
you
don't you
know
think this, do you think the standard is changing? Because I feel like the standard is changing. Well,
I I feel like the standard is changing for people who wanted to change. I feel like the standard is still the same.
mm,
As I travel around the world, I see it the same. They want
mm-hmm,
the models to all look the same, walk the same, and be the same. They don't
mm-hmm.
want all those twists and turns and different walks. And
Oh no,
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 it's
I'm
none of that stuff.
talking
So
about doing
it's
straight
still the same.
European.
All that stuff is still the same. Now, as far as the standard is the weight and stuff and height, uh, it depends on the designer. Some
Mm-hmm,
designers will accept it, and a lot of designers won't.
mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
what people don't know is designers pay to be in fashion week. It's not free.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so people don't know that. And if you have a show down the street on 57th Street, and and then you say I'm in Fashion Week, no, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Okay, if you're not up under the Mercedes Benz tent, guess what? You're not in Fashion Week. Good night.
That's why I love you, baby. You just tell it like it is.
I know I hate them like that though. I really hate them
No, but
like that,
that's we need that natural realness in
but
the
I
industry.
just can't help it because this is how I make a living, and I think they make a joke of it
Mm-hmm.
because they're making a mockery of how I make a living, and I think it's gonna make it all change and go away in some kind of way because if they keep making it, well, I don't think it will ever really change like that because a lot of these designers are not gonna have it. They're just not gonna let their stuff just be worn by anybody.
Right.
So, so that's what's going to keep the standard alive and keep it right. I just hope that we as Black Americans know that we can do it and we can do it right.
Yeah, we
You
can.
know, we could, but there's nothing wrong with full size models. We got some great full. In fact, I just saw some girls picked for New York Fashion Week were big girls and they were clowning,
Mm-hmm.
but be shapely.
Yes. Or wear
You
your
can't
proper
be big and
undergarments.
obese.
Well, wear your proper undergarments. How about that?
Yes, be shapely, and that way it comes across as a great thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to come against anybody. And I was the short model. I was 5'11". Most of those guys were 60, 6'2", 6'3", but I knew my walk killed every one of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Mm-hmm.
got chosen for Perry Ellis, I was the only black guy, and that was in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only black guy that modeled for him for 2 years. It was
Mm-hmm.
all white boys. They used
Mm-hmm.
to hide my shoes and all kind of stuff. So I'm telling you, I knew my walk would always get me through the door.
Well, what's interesting about that is when I was in St. Louis growing up and modeling as a teenager, I was fortunate enough to be a Gloria Vanderbilt girl. And
Okay,
I
good.
was the only sister in the whole shebang, you know. But I was pow banging and booming, but I was standard. You know what I'm saying? I was straight standard. And the other one I did was Bob Mackie. I did his
Mm-hmm.
tapes, because I am tall. I mean, I'm 5'11",
That's
and
what
so
I
when
am. I'm
I have on my
5'11".
stilettos, I'm 6'2", you
Right.
know,
And
six
that's why they want the
6'3".
guys to be 6'2", because the women wear stilettos. And if the woman is already 5'7", 5'8", she's going to be 6'2". You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why they wanted the guys to be taller. But I always got picked. I always got chosen. I've been blessed.
Well,
I've
I
been
wasn't
blessed.
as blessed because I wasn't seen as being the average and the standard, for the industry. So it wasn't popular back in the 70s for us to exist. We had Iman and we had
Well, I
women
was dark skinned, and that definitely
or
wasn't
dark skin.
popular. That was not popular.
No, not at all. Iman broke that barrier.
Yes, she did.
She
Yes, she
broke
did.
that barrier.
And then when Naomi came, same thing. It's just that those brown skinned girls were rocking it, and
Yes.
that's just common knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Tyra never reached the levels that Naomi reached as far as the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Tyra did a lot of print, and that was great. Naomi killed that runway and is still killing it.
Yes, she.
They cannot touch her because she knows how to wear an outfit and show it the way it's supposed to be shown.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of people are trying to be cute, trying to be pretty, trying to show, these girls want to show their booties and their titties and it. Nobody's concerned about all that. We're here to see that outfit.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right.
Wear it and wear it well.
If you're going to represent, represent.
Please do. Because I promise you, I'll get out there and tear that floor up as old as I am. And they and they playing with the outfit. Don't play with the outfit in front of me because I'm like, I will get out there and twirl till they can't come home no more.
I can't stand it.
Girl, I twirl my way to Annie M in Kansas City, okay?
Mm-mm.
I'm for real, but yeah, it's just I hate the fact that smaller cities like Kansas City and St. Louis and Atlanta and places like that, they create their own fashion shows and what's supposed to be and what's not supposed to be and
Mm-hmm.
that type of deal. And I wish I could, spend more time in Atlanta and get some of those models together because they got some good models in Atlanta. They really do.
Oh,
But it's just that I don't know if there's just no model coaches there or what, because most of those models don't walk correctly.
no.
And I, what I hate to go to a fashion show. This model's walking slow. The model behind her is walking fast. The other model's walking. It's just like there's a 5, 6, 7, 8 count. Y'all need to be on that same beat. If you watch any fashion show, you will see those models are all on the same beat. And why? Because they have a count they're counting to. They're not just walking.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? There's a mindset to this whole game. It's
Yeah.
not just walking. I don't know why y'all think it's just walking. Nobody's just gonna let you go out there and do your thing in their clothing.
Mm-mm. Because
They
they're
want you to walk this way, turn your head that way, and do this. That's what they're gonna tell you.
mm-hmm.
But when you get to these smaller cities, they want to have fashion weeks and stuff, have these models turning backwards flips and dropping it like it's hot. And that's a fashion show to them. If they don't see it, they're not excited. They get excited. Oh, she did 7 turns and turned the flip. What? Well, did you see the outfit? Did you even notice that?
That's what you're supposed to be looking at. That's what you're supposed to be looking at.
So that's what I hate about this industry that is changing so much with so many different people doing what they call productions. There's a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Deshaun Franklin.
Name sounds very familiar.
So he travels around and he does he calls it not indie fashion show.
Yes, I know Deshaun.
You know this. So when Deshaun was first getting started, he was married, and his wife and I were kind of working together on doing some things, and me traveling with them and doing some work. And they decided, that I would do it for free,
No.
and I decided that that would not be an option.
Mm-hmm.
That this is what I do for a living. And I understand they were just getting off the ground and now it's a bigger thing or whatever. But I would have never done that for anyone for free. That's just not who I am and not what I have to do. I'm not there that I have to do things for free. I'm sorry.
Well, honey, this was a year for me. I mean, I came back in the game probably 2014, 15 here in Atlanta. And I've been walking in my path and my truth since then. I am 60 years old, you know,
Okay.
and I'm still walking and will
Okay.
forever walk. I will be the oldest Black female model in the history of the industry. I'm going to be in my cheetah chair or whatever chair I'm in and ask them, come on and put my shoes on, put my support hose on, give me my caftan, and let's take this picture so I can be
Okay.
a
Listen, there's a lot of older models out here and not just black, white as well.
mm-hmm.
And doing their thing. There's a model, she's like I think she's like
Are you talking
that
about
model.
Colleen?
Huh?
Are you talking about Colleen by happen?
Yes. How old is she?
92.
Yes, 92. I'm like,
Yes,
look
yes,
at
sir.
this, look at this. But like I said, for me, I know I can walk any man under the table on that runway.
Well, I am very confident on the runway. I am fearless. I'm of the mindset of Grace Jones, Beverly Johnson, Iman, Dorothy Dandridge, and many others that I pull from to make who I am as Zaharraa Geyhanna.
I I to be honest, the guy that I learned that taught me to model, actually, he was no big person or anything. His
Mm-hmm,
name was Thomas Brooks, and he was from Chicago, Illinois.
mm-hmm,
And when I first started trying to model, I was slew-footed. My feet went out
mm-hmm.
like that, they
Uh-huh.
went like this. And so he volunteered to train me and everything. My parents paid for me to go to his class. And I stayed in Chicago for 6 months. And for 6 months I trained and walked and threw coats up in the air and caught them. And oh my God, he taught me all kind of things.
Mm-hmm,
And that's where I learned to walk.
mm-hmm,
And he taught me how to wear an outfit. And I mean, man, the things that I know and the skills I have, that's why I try to share with the people I can share with, and let them know that I could teach you to become a professional model. I've taught women to walk in heels, and I've never walked in heels in my life.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Understand. Understand.
Yeah. Now I do understand that there are men who do walk in heels. I'm just not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I see myself as a male model. I've always been that, but now I'm a coordinator, and that's where I am, and that's where I'll stay. And that's my lane for now. And
As a coordinator, what are
right.
your expectations?
Well, I want everybody to bring their A game. That's what I do. So as a coordinator, you have to coordinate the show. So that means from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
From the red carpet to the last model walking down the runway. You have to coordinate it. You have to make sure it runs and there's no bleeps and I hate to go to a fashion show and they got all these pauses and hold on the minutes and we're gonna have a 15-minute intermission and that's not necessary, babe.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a professional show, it's just a straight show. There is no talking. There is nothing. You will see the designers come up on the screen, and when the designer comes up on the screen, you'll see the model start to come out. There is no nothing. There's no pauses, nothing. And that's
Yep.
where I'm about.
And that's a fabulous show.
That's what I'm
You
about,
know,
baby.
I
And that's what I'm going to bring April the 27th to St. Louis, Missouri for the St. Louis Argus newspaper at the City Hall Museum. I am going to bring it.
you may see your girl up there now.
I'm trying to look. I brought Alex Holloman, and you know Alex from Atlanta, the designer. I
Mm-hmm.
brought him here before. I'm gonna try to bring him here again because I bring him Stormy Weather, the designer from California. I'll bring all my designers from out of state. I don't do St. Louis designers. No, I
Mm-hmm.
need some real designs, and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
do. Yes, I want them to grace the staircase of the city hall. Oh my God, that's gonna
Okay.
be amazing.
Yes, that sounds absolutely amazing. I've got 3 or 4 coming up myself. And like I said, I'm still walking. I got 6-inch stilettos. I got my 4-inch stilettos. I still tip in my 5. I have no problem with it. You
And then
know.
I love Tina Bridges up there in Atlanta. That's my girl. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. Every time I come there, she's like, "Man, you gotta come do this show. You gotta come do that. Man, you gotta come." I was like, girl, you working me to death and I'm here. I don't get no chance to
Mm-hmm.
chill and have fun. Tina be calling me. Come, Michael, we gotta go here. You gotta do this with me. But that's my girl. I love her,
She just had a
so
birthday.
much. So much. Last time I was there, she took me to a comedy show. Oh
She
my
took you to a
God.
what?
Last time I was in Atlanta, she took me to a comedy show.
Oh, cool.
Yes, we had a great time. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to come up there for her TLO shows and her over 40 fashion shows. She was, Michael, you got to come up here and be in there. I said, girl, I would tear that runway down there. I don't want none of Michael Jones.
Yes, we do.
Y'all don't want Michael Jones, baby,
Yes, we.
because
Come on, Mike.
ooh-wee,
Come on, Mike Jones.
I'm
That's
going
what
to
I
bring
want.
it. I promise you. I promise you I'm going to bring it.
I know that. I have
The
no doubt.
pain, mannequin turns and all. Yes, I'm going to bring it because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ever walk down that runway and not leave an audience on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
not gonna sit in this chair and clap for me. They gonna stand up.
All right.
Promise you. I promise.
Oh, I know.
And that's
I know.
not bragging. It's just saying how far I've come in this modeling industry that I know how to get an audience to their feet. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I understand, babe. I really do. I get it. I mean, I'm one of those models that I'm like one of those models. I think this it had never happened in Atlanta when I started my first started modeling and stuff, and I used to rock wigs and what have you. And baby, I snatch a wig off and throw it in the audience. Why you
You
playing?
listen. That's what you supposed to do. That's what you supposed to do. What they thought you was gonna do. Listen, you got to make it happen, especially at those kind of shows that you can do that at. You know what I'm saying? You got to really make it happen yourself. As far as the response that you're gonna get from the audience. You
Yes,
know,
absolutely.
yes, and I make sure, as Murdine Fielding used to say, give them a round of applause.
Yes, yes, yes. Baby, baby. Well, honey, what advice do you have for us models out here that are mature models? Well, oh, let me stop real quick. You know you're talking to ATL's hottest mature model 2023 and 2024. Thank you.
Oh, my congratulations, beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, my advice to you is just to always keep it Gucci, honey. And that means to always keep your standard no matter what's next to you or behind you. So
Mhm.
that means whoever's walking and whatever they're doing, let them do what they do and you do what you do.
I agree with that.
Yeah. See, a lot of these older models try to be like these younger models and they want to bend over and go backwards and throw their hand, all this kind of. I'm like, baby, no, stay in your lane, do what you do. Don't follow anyone else. Do what you do. And always seek training. And I
Hmm.
say that because modeling is always changing. The
Yes.
terms have changed. Like now, the pivots. I went to New York last year trying to do this pivot. They was like, they don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. So
Hmm.
it's constantly evolving and constantly changing. So it's keep updated with find you a coach there and say, hey, what's going on? Update me so I can. Even as an older model, you still want to be fierce.
Yes, absolutely. I think older models still need to take classes as well.
Hell yeah, be fierce. Don't just exist. Don't just be out there. Oh, I'm older, so I don't have to do that much, or I shouldn't. I was listening to your show the other day, and I hate to say this because I don't want people to hate me, but
They'll be all right.
but I'm such a realist. And you had a model. I guess she was a model on there, and she was talking about how she tell designers what she don't want to wear and she don't. And I was like, that's crazy. I've never heard of such. Baby, I have worn stuff that I would have never put on in real life, but this is what I had to do. I
Mm-hmm.
remember a time that I was on tour with Ebony, and we did this fur leather store, and I had like six outfits from this store that I had to do back to back. I mean, it was like I was spinning around and twirling around, so I was sweating to death. But anyways, they got me this brown outfit, and I'm dark, and I just didn't like it. It was just a brown. It was just the worst outfit that you could ever pick for me. But they picked that for me. But I wore the fool out of it.
I know you.
Why? Because that's what I got paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not modeling is not. I don't know why people think modeling is being yourself. It's not. You are a mannequin. You're
Your
transitioning, baby.
hair.
So what you would wear is not what the designer made. Okay.
Nope.
So anyway, I hate that was my point.
Yeah, but we all we're just hangers, and
That's it. And now
it.
people forget that part.
You know, yeah, a lot of people need to get that part.
Yeah,
You
they need
know,
to get that part.
they really do, and the expectancy. You don't tell a designer that you're not going to wear something.
That's crazy. I've never heard of but that's what she said to you on your show. I was like, well, okay, if you can do I said, maybe she's talking about some local stuff. She couldn't be talking about a real professional show. But one thing for sure, I have to come to Atlanta and do something soon. I really do.
Yeah, we would love to have you, Mike.
Girl, I miss Atlanta. I really need to get there and do me something very soon. My niece just moved there, so I'll be coming there very soon.
Hmm.
And she's only 10 years old. That I'll
She's
be posting on. Huh?
Your baby's gorgeous.
Thank you. I love her. That's my sweetheart. I try to get her to model. She's like, no, I'm a gymnast. And
Good for her.
she gets so tired of running with me to different shows and stuff. She saw it her whole life, and she's like, I know I'm going to be a gymnast.
Mike, how do models get paid?
So a model gets paid by joining an agency. Okay. Now, once you join an agency, the agency puts you on their catalog file, and then they send it out to different people, and then they pick you. I want this model, and that's where the pay comes from.
Mm-hmm. And so when people are doing independent shows, do you think they need to be paid?
Hell, I mean, yes, of course. Anyone that does a show need to be paid. Now, it's different because when you're doing it, when you're an independent model and you're doing shows for local designers, those designers don't have that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're doing shows for agencies, the agency pays you from the person that pays them.
Right.
Okay, so therefore you don't have to worry about that. But when you're on your own, I think what, $50 an hour? Yeah, $50 an hour is like the going rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a lot of money,
Mm-mm.
because you're not gonna be there 3, 4, 5 hours. You know what
Well,
I'm
down here you
saying?
are.
Oh,
Yeah.
shows be that long?
Down here we have, there are times when we have to, the model call is at 12. We don't start until 6. Seriously.
They wouldn't have Michael. They wouldn't have me. I don't play that
I'm
game. Oh my
serious.
God, girl, no, hell no, 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 no. My
And then
time is
some, there are
everything.
times, I mean, and I hate to
My
talk about
time is
it, but
everything,
there are
baby.
times we can't even get a bottle of water, let alone something to eat.
Oh my God.
So,
But
I'm
but
pro-
they.
this is why I have Models Talk, because I have to talk about it, because it's got to get better. And like I keep putting out there, and sooner or later somebody's going to do it. We're going to have a consortium, and that's going to bring all the models and bring your models in, bring a round table, bring in the producers, bring in the directors, bring in the designers, and sit down and have a consortium, put a calendar together for the course of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and have a real fashion week. Yeah,
Yes.
fashion week is not 2 days. I don't care how you try.
Fashion Week, first of all, in New York is 4 days. And it
Right.
goes from 9 in the morning to 9 at night.
Yes,
And
sir.
people don't understand that it's not just 9 to 5 or that fashion show goes from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. And they go designer after designer after designer after designer. And I'm running around in the back room getting these models organized. So that's what Fashion Week is. And what people don't understand is what Fashion Week was presented to present a designer's outfit to a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So the buyers are the people that sit in the shows and bid on these outfits for their department stores, for Famous, for Neiman's Marcus, Dallas, whatever, whatever, whatever. They sit there and they bid on these clothing, and that's what the Fashion Week is about.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they're going to hold these clothes in their store or their corporation or wherever, whatever, what state, what country, you know, that's what Fashion Week is. So people get it twisted. Now it's become, when black people get a hold of it, they turn it into their own thing. And now they got Fashion Week at every block in New York. Girl, you be like, what? And I mean, just a bunch of local mess. And it's just like, I mean, I'm blessed. So, I'm not trying to say I'm better or anything like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that I just don't understand, why do for fake what you can do for real,
Mm-hmm.
and they can really get into these shows for real if they try,
Right.
and then go the right way about it. Joining an agency is the only way you're going to get in Fashion Week, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't hire models off the street. Now, they will, at times when they don't have designers like I'm not seeing, but they will have models outside and they'll go out there and pick some models from outside and bring them in. They do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them do that, but for the most part, I think for a model to make sure that their business become business minded.
Absolutely. Say that.
Take care of your business
Like, say that
first.
again.
Take care of your business first, baby. Make sure your stuff is in order. Make sure you have a sheet, your pay rate, and what you're doing, what
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do, what you're not going to do. Okay? Because when people call me up, Michael, we want you to come out here and train these models for this show, put this show together for us, I send them immediately my requests.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. And I say request because I can't say the definite. You're paying me, so you're going to say what's definite. But I'm going to make a request of this is what I need. This is what's going to happen. This is how I need it to happen.
Right.
Okay, I need your models to listen, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
No talking.
Talking, ain't a whole bunch
You
of
know, I don't need you to talk to
ain't
me. I'm
nobody
the talker because I'm the coach. Just
ain't
listen.
ain't nobody on their phone, ain't
No,
nobody.
oh, definitely. I don't even let them. No, you don't even bring your phone in my. No, no, no. I don't do phones. No, no. I'm like a school. You leave that outside. But see, that's what I'm saying. They come there all unprofessional, just being, I don't know, and but yet they want to get paid, and they want, you you have to earn that right, baby. You ain't done no show, you ain't never modeled before, but you want to get paid.
Well, see, I think newbies, there should be a quote unquote pay scale. I do believe that, even with
Well,
new.
for everybody, but I'm saying,
Right.
if you haven't done your business, it's not for me to offer you pay, baby. It's for you to
That's true.
definitely present me
You can't
something.
come in there with just nothing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
just
all
nothing.
I'm saying.
No, you had to have
Just
some shows under your belt.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Something. Did
And
something.
and have something to work with.
Yes.
I
Yes.
also don't. I also do not believe in 10 different rehearsals for a show.
Oh
I
hell
don't
no.
think that's
But that means what that means is you got some models that
don't know
you're
what.
not, yeah, they don't know what they're doing, so you gotta train them more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And for me it's 2 or 3 rehearsals. That's it. And that is to get the formation, get it down packed, make sure that everyone's on the same 5, 6, 7, 8 count, period.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And making sure them striding them legs, because they like to do them little short steps. And I'm like, you already short, but you short stopping for.
Mm-hmm.
So I, I've seen models from beginning to end, and what I do when I come in, I make it happen, and I thank God that He gave me this skill to be able to do this because it's not many that know how to train, and you have to know how to talk to people to train models. You really
Yeah.
do. You have to know how to deal with people, and I know how to deal with people without being offensive, and teach them the way that this is supposed to be done. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and if I ever, come to Atlanta and you're there, you have to come see me work. I'm telling you, these models transform for me. They really do, and they love me, and that's a great thing.
Well, that's good. You bring that to the table. That's
Yes,
part of your giving. You know what I'm saying?
yes, my
And I
energy.
give it wholly.
Mm-hmm. My
You are from the show me state.
and I do show them. I do show them. And I'm just blessed. Like I say, I'm so blessed, man. I could not imagine my life 30 years ago that I would be still doing this. I did not ever think that I would still be doing this.
Well, I knew I was always going to do this, even though I got degrees in psychology. I knew this is what I always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to be a model. I used to practice when I was a little girl in my room.
Really? I
Yes.
never I never wanted to be a model. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to go to law school, but like I said, I got picked up as a model at 14 years old.
Right.
So that was, I started getting tutors and traveling and doing what I was doing. I used to do the Cold commercial. I used to, I used to do a lot of stuff, and I've done a lot of stuff. My mom kept me busy in this
Mm-hmm.
modeling stuff, and I thank God for her. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God that I stayed with it,
Right.
because once I learned how to walk, oh, that was it. And I tell people, after you get your first applause, you'll see. You get
Well,
that fever. You get that fever
yeah,
then.
you do. I mean,
You get that first applause. It's over.
I travel all throughout the Midwest, from Chicago down to Detroit, Mississippi, and back to St. Louis,
Them
and then,
Chicago kids will walk you under a table.
okay.
Woo! Them kids. I love to go to Chicago. Them kids can walk. When I tell you they are runway, they got it. They got
Mm-hmm.
it. Chicago need to have a real fashion week. They really do. I've been
Yes.
trying to fight for it, but they have to pay for it. The state has to pay for it, and that's what people don't understand. Fashion week is a name, a title, but it's owned by someone. So
Yeah.
therefore, you have to pay to use the name Fashion Week, and that's what people don't understand. And that's the only way for you to get it into a legitimate state to where you'll get paid for having that Fashion Week.
Right. Right. Well, you keep fighting for that. You need help. Let me know. You need some help. Let me know.
Girl, I just want Chicago to have one too. I'm like, those models, every time they invite me down and they like, Michael, we want you to train them. I said, I don't need to train nobody. They got this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I would like to come to Atlanta and do some. So if you heard of anybody having a show and they need the coordinator, tell them to call me. Tell them that Michael Jones is the best. But because I really want Atlanta to. I did you guys Fashion Week like what 2015, 16 was it? Yeah, they had Atlanta Fashion Week, and I came and I did that, and it was cool, but
It was lacking. But I'm sure that's what you want to say.
it was nice. I
Yes,
mean,
but it still was.
it
Mhm.
was it was cool. I just was very disappointed in the way the model. Like I said, I didn't think I would have to work that hard. With
Did your producers help you?
with
Did they?
what?
Did your producers, were they the ones who were sharing flyers and making sure the promotions was on point? And I mean, did that happen for you?
Yes,
Good.
yes. Oh my God. Um, they gave me the red carpet in Atlanta for Fashion Week when I came.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh my God, yeah. The
Okay.
hotel, everything they did for me was absolutely fabulous. It was just the models for me
Mm-hmm.
that I thought by it being Atlanta. I don't know. I traveled to Atlanta. I've always met, dressy people, very flashy, very, very now people, So I've just always thought if I did a show in Atlanta, those models was gonna be amazing. But no, they were a little,
Well, that
yeah,
was 2015. It is now 2025. That was 10.
yes, yes,
There is a
yes,
difference.
yes. Well, I've come there and done shows since then, but I'm just saying that was the time I did the little fashion week thing they had.
Mm-hmm. No,
And I've come there and did other shows, but I need to come there again. I do, I
yeah.
do, I do. I need to tell Tina. Tina, tell one of the people, but they be hiring her, so they ain't gonna need me.
You can come and take over and say there's a new sheriff in town.
Just from a man's point of view, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
I
seriously, I've taught women to walk in heels, and they're like, "How do you do that? And you don't walk in heels easily."
mm-hmm.
Because I saw an instructor teach a woman to walk in heels, and I watched every move.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned how to teach a woman to walk in a heel without putting none on myself.
Right, right.
Exactly, exactly.
Baby, I just can't wait for that moment. I know you're gonna keep me in the loop. And I know you're gonna keep me in the loop about St. Louis artists.
Oh yes, definitely. Oh yes, definitely. This is gonna be a hot media
I
event,
would
and
love to come up and do some press.
girl, come on down. I promise you. We just had to get you a hotel room or something. But come on down. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to a fabulous show. Then after that, I'll be off to DC.
Mhm,
But I'm booked this rest of this year. Look at
mhm.
God. Look
A-
at God. So
Amen.
that's what I'm excited about, Zara. I'm so excited about what I'm doing.
Well, I think you are truly blessed. I think you have the je ne sais quoi of it all, and
Thank you,
I think you're
darling.
very well rounded, and I love it. I think you need to have an apprentice. Okay, somebody you can work with that can help you do these things because it's hard to do them alone.
Yes.
And if you don't have support in various cities, at least you got somebody there that you can even vent to. And
Well,
like,
you know,
Lord have mercy.
what I really want to do is a fashion tour. I really want to have my own, like Ebony did, and the thing is, working behind the scenes, I got a chance to see how Ebony did it because they were doing it through the Urban League.
Mm-hmm.
And so every state that had an urban league, the urban league would sell the tickets and everything before we would even get there. By the time
That,
we got there, all we had to do was do the show, you
that's right.
know? And so I would
I
love to
remember
do
that.
that and have my own group and travel the world doing shows. Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Mhm.
to do.
That would be fabulous.
I
Okay,
know it would.
you have to have mature models.
Oh, definitely. I want mature models, and I definitely want full size. I want some short. I want all sizes models. You
Good,
know.
good. Because,
Yes, yes.
we are representing. They say that the '60s is the new '40. You know.
Listen. Listen, baby. As long as you can walk it for me, I don't care if you're 90. As long
Yeah.
as you can walk that runway, walk for me. And I'll be screaming, walk for me, walk for me. So, yeah, I get excited when somebody walk. I'll be like, walk for me.
I understand. I do understand because when I've trained, and I see the young women doing the thing, I'm like, baby, you doing a damn
You
thing.
walk for me, baby. Walk for me. Hurt my feelings. Roll your eyes at me. I don't care. I
Yep.
love to see models get it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I love to see when the light bulb clicks on.
Yes. 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 Me too. Me too. You
And
know, eh,
they're still doing them, but yet and still they're doing what they need to do and how they need to do it and representing to the best of their ability to sell.
exactly.
And that's what
Exactly.
you got to sell that garment.
Yes. And I just don't know what else you think modeling is. I can't say, oh, I'm a construction worker and just start building a house. I have to learn from something. I have to start somewhere.
Hmm.
So it's the same way with modeling or any other career. This is not a job, this is a career.
Hmm.
Okay, you have to invest in it, and you're
And
gonna get out of it what you put in it.
I don't do gigs. I can't stand that word. It's a gig. What the That's something I did when I was 16. I did a gig when I was 16. No, I'm 60. I'm coming to do the job and get the job done and do it well.
But I call it career,
And then there's real. It's,
because
it's
it's been my career,
like
because it's been my whole life.
when I start getting paid properly, it'll be a career.
So I do get paid properly. So that's what I'm saying. You
Well,
know,
I'm working on it. I'm
you
working on
know,
it.
we do. Like I said, I thank God. I
Mhm.
thank God
Because
because I know a lot of
for
people
so many.
that have struggled with the industry and stuff, but I thank God for is the fact that with me, it's always been a smooth ride. It really has.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful for that. You know, and I'm grateful that, when people call me to come out and put a show together for them, I just did Dallas, Texas. And oh my God, that show was it was just amazing to come when I pulled up to the venue and see my name up on the billboard,
Hmm.
see my picture up on the
Hmm.
billboard. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
is how these people treat you. You know what I'm saying? When I go to these different places, and I'm just excited about it. So now they got these models called law models, and they're in Africa.
Hmm.
Yes. So I'm going to meet them, and I'm hopefully it'll be. I'm praying that it'll be around August, September of this year.
Uh-huh.
That I'll be there. You talking about
I want
beautiful?
to go to Lagos.
Listen, Nigeria. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm talking Ghana though. They're in Ghana.
Hmm. Nine
Ghana.
trillion dollar.
After we're Ghana, I could, huh?
It's fashion. There is a $9 trillion industry.
Girl, these models, they so beautiful. Oh my God, their skin, their height, their body builds, and oh, they're all so perfect. I'm serious. I mean, like I couldn't imagine what a model call would be like. But
Hmm.
next time you on Facebook, girl, look up law models.
Okay.
LAW law models in Africa, and I promise you, they are amazing. And the guy that's working with them, he's amazing.
Hmm.
He is amazing. He is teaching them the correct way and everything. So it is really, I mean, like I love it. I love it.
Fabulous. Well, I
I'm
would
like, look at
love.
Africa. Look at Africa.
Okay, I'd love to come and rock Nigeria and be in a Lagos Fashion Week.
Girl, I would love to go snatch about 20 of them models and bring them to St. Louis. I'd be rich.
Look, if I
Shit.
snatch 20
Girl,
models,
I'd be rich.
they'll
Look,
be with IFA. Why you
they
play?
give me Iman and some most stuff, okay?
Look, if I snatch some models from Africa, from
Girl,
the other land, they're gonna be with IFA.
girl.
That's who they're gonna be with. I'm sorry, I can't. I'll share. You can hire them. That's what we'll do.
Girl, I gotta get me some of them African models. I said, Lord, I mean, just beautiful. Absolutely breathtaking. No makeup, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Just, just stunning.
just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sending me pictures, and I was I was going crazy.
Mm, mm, mm.
So then we got on a live Zoom call,
Mm-hmm.
and they were introducing themselves. I said, oh my God, I need some money. I need to go pay all their way back to the United States and get them signed immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Well,
my
it's
gosh.
good to see our sisters walking the runway.
Oh my God.
It's
Brothers
good
too. The
to see
brothers too. They are
our
amazing as
first happened.
well.
Our brothers walking the runway.
Oh my God. They
It's
all
about
six
time.
feet, 6'5", 6. Oh my God. They're beautiful.
Yeah, it's just I've lived a life long enough to be able to see things come to fruition.
Yes. Yes.
You know, because like I said, they didn't have us back then.
No.
They,
No.
we weren't represented well.
And
Well,
especially not
we
African
were
models.
represented by few. Let me say it like that. We were
I remember the first black Aziki, I can't think of her name, but the first black dark skinned girl, bald head from Africa came and modeled. I mean, she's still doing runways. That's my girl. I don't know why I can't think of her name right now.
well,
But in
Tamara Dobson, when back in the day, Cleopatra Jones.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
what Tamara Dobson was.
Tamara Dobson. She started modeling and she couldn't break ends meet. She couldn't
Okay.
why she became an actress.
Well, she was beautiful.
She
You
was,
know,
but her skin tone was wrong. They didn't want her
yeah.
skin tone.
Well, like I said, Iman and that model, I cannot think of her name right
Mm-hmm.
now, but they broke that barrier,
Yes, it did.
And people thought they found Iman on the farm and all that lies they told.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no. Iman family had money and she was going through a charm school when the guy met her and now ex her to model. She was not on no damn farm.
I know. There were so many lies going around.
Lies and stories, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but the Imam family had money, and she was brought to the United States to model for that reason.
She's absolutely still stunning. She's still gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful,
Beautiful.
absolutely beautiful.
I mean, just skin's flawless.
Oh my God, yes, yes. But I know how they do all that, and that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They get them chemical peels on their skin, and people say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, they trying to lighten their skin." No,
No.
chemical peel is just takes that people don't know we have hair in our face, all over our face, like an animal.
Yes.
We have hair out, but we don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do the peel, it just peels that hair off your face, which makes you a little brighter.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
In fact, I'm having one in a couple of months, so it's
All
all.
right. Go, go get it.
Yes, I'm getting my chemical peel in my new teeth. Yes. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
what we do, to stay relevant. Like I said, I got to continue to do this thing. So, I have to look a certain way as well.
Are there any final thoughts that you have that you will want to give us models or the industry here in Atlanta?
Yes, get that walk together. Y'all can be amazing in Atlanta. I promise you. Bring me there just a couple of times, and I will get y'all together. I will have y'all walking
That are bad
rings
now.
around.
Don't get it twisted. I got some sisters that are bad that will put things to shame.
No, I would
You
love to
have.
see him. I would love to see him. I mean,
I
I'm
would love to
serious.
bring you to you.
Because I really, like I said, I really would like to come to Atlanta and just work, some more work. And so I just want to tell the ladies in Atlanta, especially mature models, stay on your game and stay on your business. Make sure you got your business in order, because, like I said, they're not looking for you. So make sure they start looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Well, I can't wait till you come. I'm looking forward to it. You're gonna put a show on here. Somebody gonna hire you to put a show on here. Come
Just
down.
hire me to train the models, and that
Okay,
would be
well that's
fine for
fine.
me. I would
Look,
come there, and you,
that's fine.
girl,
You just come on in and let's work. Let's work.
let's work.
Okay.
I'm with you, mama.
All right, Mr. Mike Jones. I want to say thank you for coming on. You were absolutely wonderful. And I
Thank
got to have
you.
you back when you finish doing a couple of shows. And I know you
Yes,
have to Fashion Week. I know.
yes. I
So
leave tomorrow for Fashion Week, so that's gonna be, a couple of days of pure hell. Y'all don't be happy for me to be sad for me, because I'm gonna be up from 7 in the morning to like 11, 12 at night. Because once you get through with the show about 9 o'clock, you just can't wind down that quickly.
you
So
got
I'm
to,
gonna be very exhausted.
yes, you have to go out and then you unwind.
Yes, yes.
Because you got to go schmooze. You got to go.
I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that because I have people I need to meet and talk to. I do that every time I'm there. I'm just scared of this flight, so God pray for y'all. Pray for traveling grace, and I'll be good.
That's already done, baby. God's
Thank you, darling.
Already done. This is your girl, Zaharraa Geyhanna, saying yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Mike Jones, for being on Modelz Talk. We'll
Thank you for
talk soon,
having
baby.
me.
Peace and love. Throw them deuces always.
Good
Modelz Talk, baby.
night.
Good night.